In the darkest corners of the world, there are places that should never be disturbed, places where the veil between the living and the dead is paper thin. When Mark and his friends decided to explore the old mansion on Blackwood Hill, they thought it would be nothing more than a thrilling adventure. They were dead wrong. The mansion stood as a monument to forgotten horrors, its walls stained with the memories of those who had suffered and died within. As they stepped inside, the air grew thick with the stench of decay, and the floors creaked under the weight of unseen forces. Bloodstains marred the walls, remnants of unspeakable acts committed long ago. The group laughed nervously, unaware that they were being watched. As they ventured deeper into the mansion, the atmosphere grew darker, more oppressive. Shadows moved where they shouldn't, flickering just out of sight. Mark felt a cold hand brush against his neck, but when he turned, there was no one there. The others began to hear whispers, low and guttural, calling their names from the depths of the house. In the basement, they found an ancient, blood-stained altar surrounded by symbols carved into the stone. The room reeked of death, and the walls seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. It was then that they realized they were not alone. The air turned icy, and the shadows coalesced into forms, grotesque, twisted creatures with glowing red eyes and jagged teeth. Demons, birthed from the darkest corners of the human soul. Panic set in as the demons closed in, their twisted forms flickering in and out of reality. One by one, Mark's friends were torn apart, their screams echoing through the mansion as blood splattered across the walls. Mark tried to run, but the house itself seemed to conspire against him. Doors slammed shut, trapping him inside, and the walls closed in, pressing against his chest, suffocating him. The demons whispered in his ear, their voices like nails scraping across glass, telling him of the countless souls they had claimed and how his would be next. Mark's mind began to unravel, the sheer terror overwhelming his senses. He felt the cold, sharp claws of the demons dig into his flesh, tearing him apart piece by piece. The pain was unbearable, but worse was the realization that there was no escape, no hope. As his vision blurred, Mark caught a glimpse of his reflection in a cracked mirror. His face was twisted into a mask of pure terror, his eyes wide with the knowledge that he was about to join the countless others who had died screaming in that cursed mansion. The last thing he saw before the darkness took him was the grinning face of the nightmare dweller, the ancient demon that ruled the mansion, feeding on the souls of the damned.